Because
Not everybody. Turkey chooses when they work for the United States, right? Sometimes
No
Erdogan works
way.
for himself.
Really?
Yeah, but
Well,
it's
yeah,
for
sometimes
some
Erdogan
some
buys his
some very
S-400.
specific things. I mean, it's kind of bargaining chip. Turkey is in a situation where they can bargain the United States, but
They play
they will
against the sides against each other.
always
Yeah,
play the United States book.
yeah.
That's
Erdogan
why
is
you
a
have
strong
an
guy.
economic and financial crisis in Turkey because the power in United States are not the financial power are not happy with Erdogan, so they decided to remove all their investment like that, and then you
It's not
saw the
just that.
Turkish lira plunging suddenly like that.
RL, have you thought also, like, Turkey has to be very careful because they have invaded Syria, and NATO and Europe have Western values, and they will not tolerate a country invading another country.
The borders by force.
So
Yeah.
Europe is just about to send arms and weapons to
No.
Syria
It's
to
no.
throw out
Don't
these
invaded
invading.
don't mix things.
Yugoslavia, my friend.
This is Western
Toby,
values. This is Western values, RL. You have to
The Western
understand, we believe
values
in.
was to invade before Turkey invade Syria.
We
They
will
were
not tolerate one country invading another.
listen,
RL.
Toby. The
Oh,
Europeans
We
and
are serious
American
people.
troops were
We're serious
on the
people.
Syrian soil before
Principled
Turkey,
people.
and they went in Syria to create Rojava, the Syrian Kurdistan, and then you saw the Turkish going into Syria. Because the Turks said, we are in the same alliance, NATO, and you want to create a Syrian Kurdistan without telling us what are your plans? Fuck off. And then Turkey decided to go into Syria full-fledged.
yeah,
And
but
then the
actually,
Europeans and the Americans understand immediately that, we can't shoot a missile or send a bomb against Turks army. We have to give weapons to the Kurds so they can fight the Turks.
Any
I'm dying
minute
to
now,
hear
the
what Bra has to
ICC is
say.
going to put out an
Dying to
arrest
hear what
warrant
Bra
for
has
Erdogan.
to say.
You know, it's going to
but
happen.
actually, Turkey is not invading Syria. They are invading Kurdistan. Yes, that's the fact.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
they are in
what-
talks with Bashar al-Assad. So maybe if the Kurdish problem in Syria is resolved by killing everybody, maybe the Turks will give back the land, maybe give back the land to the Syrian regime, maybe.
Isn't that changing now? In like Turkey getting all comfy with Syria and stuff, and with Iran, and we're trying to make a big plan. So hopefully there's peace soon over there, and China and Russia sort of mediating it.
Yeah. So I'll tell you guys what. One time I was getting a taxi ride, and this dude was Armenian, from an Armenian guy, right? And Armenia has a history with Turkey as well. And I asked him what he thought about Erdogan. This was right after the assassination attempt or whatever happened there, right? The coup attempt. And he was like, before this attempt on Erdogan's life, he already kind of did whatever the hell he wanted. And now nobody's going to touch him. He's going to be able to do whatever the hell he wants. You know what you can do? You can tank the Turkish economy. You're not going to remove Erdogan from power. I don't think so. I think that Erdogan gets to do what he wants. He gets to shoot down a Russian plane, and the Russians are like, oh, yeah, we'll be nice. He gets to buy an S-400 in the United States, can be all pissed off about it. But at the end of the day, he gets his S-400. And India has the S-400 too, right? That doesn't cause everybody to freak out. But when Turkey gets it, everybody freaks out, but nobody can do anything about it. So I think that Erdogan gets to do what he wants, and I think that everybody wants to, both the Russians and the Americans and the Chinese and the Syrians, everybody wants to cooperate with Turkey on these issues, because Turkey is actually a country that demonstrates that they have a political will, and they're going to do what is good for, maybe not good for Turkey, but whatever is good for Erdogan, maybe.
I think you're underestimating the principles of the West here. I mean, I've heard Stoltenberg talk about this. We cannot allow states to just invade other states. And on the board, you heard the panel, right? The pro-Ukrainian panel. When it's on the border of Europe, you just can't allow states to
Unless
invade other
there's a
states
genocide.
and to redraw borders, because it would destabilize everything. And that's why we must stand up against this. And so that's why any minute now, Stoltenberg is going to kick Turkey out of NATO, and Europe is going to send weapons to Syria to help them protect their sovereign borders. I mean, these are Western values. These are principles. These aren't just like hollow words. RL, don't you be cynical now. Don't be cynical.
Please let me be cynical.
What they're going to do? They're going to invade Turkey?
Well, we must fight them. We cannot
economy.
have one state redraw borders on the boundaries of Europe.
By force.
They are not invading Syria. I just told you they are not invading Syria. Turkey is not invading Syria. They are just
ask Syria about that. Ask Syria about that. They have a very different opinion.
Just look at just look at Cyprus. Just look at Cyprus. What the Europeans and the Western values are telling about Cyprus? Nothing. Northern Cyprus is a kind of Turkish Republic of Cyprus.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're true.
And what about? No, that's bullshit. They are withdrawing the borders. That's it, because they have the meaning to do it. And as I've already said, Turkey is
what's your 2 cents about
most relevant NATO country in Europe. It's
Vaughn.
even more relevant than Poland or the Baltic states or Finland.
Vaughn wants to step in.
I was just going to say, I think some evidence. I mean, it's always been a theory of mine with Syria and Turkey and the Russian shoot down. I mean, I think it's kind of evidence that Turkey feels like it can do what it wants, because I'm pretty sure in the week prior to the shoot down of the Russian aircraft, the Russians had started hitting ISIS convoys of oil that were being smuggled into Turkey on the black market.
Yep.
And I believe it was like 250 million or maybe $1 billion worth of oil that was going in there illegally. And my point, I thought at the time, I'm like, there's no way there's that much oil, whatever amount it was, in the tens of millions going into Turkey, and the Turkish government doesn't have its hands on a percentage of that somehow. So I felt like they got pissed at Russia because Russia started hitting their money. They shot that plane down, and then they ran and hid behind NATO's skirt, demanding, protection from the West and NATO because Russia's huge and they're going to get us. It's like you shot down a fucking plane that was in your airspace for literally seconds. And then on top of that, they killed the rescue crew that had come.
Yep.
I mean, it was a pretty shitty deal, and it's like, they basically instigated something. And I can't say I don't blame Turkey. That's money on the table they can't afford to lose. They were pissed about it. I mean, it's a criminal enterprise. I mean, think about it. If the Crips steal from the Bloods, well, somebody's getting fucking shot over that. Somebody's getting revenge for that. If you fuck over the cartel, you fucked with Turkey's money. Turkey shot down one of your planes, and then like a chicken shit, they go run and hide behind NATO. That's what I thought.
Remember what Putin said about Erdogan. Putin said about Erdogan that I like this guy. I can work with him. I can make a deal with Erdogan. I can compromise with him. And I can, his word actually means something compared to, let's say, look at what happened with the Minsk Accords, right? Where France and Germany, they couldn't pressure Ukraine, either couldn't or didn't want to. I think they probably, to some extent, wanted to. I think Merkel probably would have loved to have her cement her legacy as somebody that helped Germany achieve energy independence and all that. That was one of her big things for the entire time she was in office, right? But
do you think it's maybe,
or the Russians don't think that they can make a deal with the Germans like they can with a country like Turkey that is actually interested in, that actually has like a sovereign foreign policy?
Actually,
I don't know. Maybe Russia looks at Turkey, because of like if you look at the shoot down incident and why they probably did it. Maybe they look at like Erdogan's weak. He's a weasel. All we have to do is apply the pressure that we need to apply to him to make him do what we want, pay him what he wants, and he'll be our little puppet to do what he wants. And Erdogan is probably playing the game right now because Russia's not stronger than NATO right now, but he probably realizes, he knows in the down the road, he knows Turkey's place in the world. So he's just trying to position himself for the time when the time comes, so he can get the best position possible. I mean, let's be honest. At best, Turkey might be a regional power, as in it might have some sway over the Mediterranean. It's not going to go up. It's not going to have any.
That's a big deal, though. The Strait of what is it? They control who gets to enter and exit in places like the Black Sea.
But that could be changed. That could be changed quickly. I mean, I think Turkey knows that.
I don't know.
I mean,
I think the deal is working out for the other neighbors in the you know that have.
I just think right? Turkey knows its position. It's like, yeah, I'm in a good position here. I can get something from the west. I can get something from the east. But at some point, I think they realize in that area, the east is going to become dominant, and they're going to have to make the deal. And
that's
even though
that's their neighborhood.
Yeah, they got to. I mean, you're going to have to make a deal with Russia because they're right there versus some promise from DC that might be there in 4 years or not, or 2 years or whatever